In this episode of Spiritual Armament, Conversations with God, we explore the continuation of the message titled, You Were Placed, Not Misplaced. A powerful reminder drawn from Exodus chapters 1 and 2 that God's positioning is always intentional, even when our circumstances feel confusing, uncomfortable, or unexpected. Moses was born into danger, raised between cultures, misunderstood by his own people, and shaped through seasons he did not choose. Yet every moment, from the basket on the Nile to the palace of Pharaoh to the wilderness of Midian, was part of God's divine preparation. His story teaches us that God wastes nothing, not our upbringing, not our struggles, not our delays, and not our detours. In this message, we explore what it means to be placed by God, how God uses unlikely beginnings to shape extraordinary callings, why training seasons are necessary for destiny, the consequences of running ahead of God's timing, how to handle misunderstanding, rejection, and criticism, the beauty of waiting on God's appointed time, why being called means being set apart for God's purpose. If you ever felt out of place, overlooked, or unsure why God has positioned you where you are, this message will strengthen your faith and renew your perspective. You are not misplaced. You are being prepared. Scripture references: Exodus chapter 1, verses 1 through 22, and Exodus chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Psalm 27, verse 14. James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. And Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. This message was born out of a season where I found myself reflecting on the strange, unexpected, and sometimes uncomfortable places God positions his people. Many believers feel misplaced in their families, their jobs, their ministries, or their circumstances. But as I revisited Exodus chapter 1 and 2, God reminded me his people are never misplaced. They are placed. And that revelation became the heartbeat of this message. As we turn to the 6 truths before us, each one reveals another way God shows that your placement is deliberate, purposeful, and woven with his wisdom. Point 1. Your beginning was not an accident. Moses' birth looked chaotic, but it was divine strategy. Your story may look complicated, but it is divine orchestration. God specializes in using unexpected beginnings to shape extraordinary destinies. Point 2. God sees what you cannot see. While Moses floated in a basket, God was guiding him to destiny. While you navigate uncertainty, God is guiding you to purpose. God sees connections you cannot see yet. Point 3. Training comes before assignment. Moses needed Hebrew identity, Egyptian education, wilderness humility, and shepherding patience. You need training too, and God knows exactly what kind. Point 4. Premature action brings consequences. Moses acted early, and it cost him. But God used the wilderness to realign him. God does not waste your detours. Point 5. Misunderstanding comes with calling. People question Moses. People will question you. But your calling is not for public approval. Point 6. Being called means being set apart. To be called is to be chosen. To be chosen is to be prepared. To be prepared is to be sent. Before we step into the points that follow, we need to pause and remember that God often begins his greatest works in the smallest, most easily overlooked beginnings. Do not despise the days of obscurity. Do not despise the seasons where nothing seems to be happening. Do not despise the moments where you feel unseen, misunderstood, or overlooked. Comparison will rob you. Fear will paralyze you. Self-doubt will silence you. Rejection will discourage you. But God's grace is sufficient. He is completing what he started in you. He is working all things together for your good. And he is shaping you for a purpose bigger than you can imagine. As we bring all this together, the conclusion invites us to step back, see the fuller picture, and recognize how every truth we've explored points to the same unshakable reality. You were placed by God on purpose. You were not misplaced. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. You were placed intentionally, strategically, lovingly by the God who sees the end from the beginning. Your story is not random. Your calling is not fragile. Your training is not wasted. Your delays are not denials. Your wilderness is not punishment. It's preparation. Walk boldly in the truth that God has positioned you, shaped you, and called you for such a time as this. If this message encourages you, like the video, share it with someone who needs clarity and hope, and subscribe for more teachings that equip your spirit and strengthen your walk with God.